Hello, this is Cem Bolukbasi, professional F1 esports player and real-life racing driver. We all know that the F1 2020 game has just been released, and I'm going to show you some basic tips on how to just get better and get quicker in the game. The first step to win a race is to think about it beforehand. Choose your strategy based on your driving style though. If you know your tires wear out fast, go for shorter stints on softer tires for the maximum performance. But if you're good at saving them, consider going for longer stints with harder tires and less pit stops. But I, for example, think that pitting early is the way to go. You get more laps with fresh tires than your opponents, and in the end it doesn't really matter if you pit a lap earlier than every other driver because your tires will only be a lap older and not more. If you pit earlier though, your tires are fresh while the others are worn out, so you can profit more from your fresh tires than in this situation. That's the reason why undercutting is much stronger in F1. Tied into your strategy is your fuel decision. While thinking about the overall race and considering everything, you should never forget to factor in your fuel. Not only is your fuel vital to even finish the race, but it also affects the handling of the car depending on how much fuel you have. I normally plan my fuel the way that I still have 2 to 3 laps left in the tank. The reason is though quite simple. This allows me to go for the rich mix on straights to gain that extra bit of speed on top speed. Then just before braking I switch back to normal mix to conserve enough for the whole race and have maximum top speed on the entire straight. Okay, so we talked about how we approach the track, and now let's get racing. But more importantly, start thinking about how to start the race. The good thing about F1 2020 is that you can actually trust the game. If it tells you that your RPM is in the optimal range, they are, and you can fully focus on everything else. Because the start is of utmost importance to not lose the whole race too early, while accelerating your wheels should never start to spin. If they do, you went too fast. Wheel spin loses you more time than you could ever lose with a slow start. So rather take it a bit slower and dig your wheels into the ground. As soon as you're rolling, just accelerate more and more. While doing so, you can short shift until the 3rd gear or maybe even 4th gear, which is possible because you put your gearbox into manual. Automatic is the more comfortable way to drive, but it costs you valuable seconds and even leads to greater fatigue of your tires. Often it shifts up before you take a corner, which is more than just unfortunate. So learn to shift manually. As soon as you get used to manual shifting, your lap times are going to improve. Using a lower gear for the extra acceleration out of a corner, or stay longer in one to squeeze out that extra bit of speed. Even using your motor to brake is possible and recommended. F1 2020 does not punish you for using it. Your motor does not take damage, so you should take advantage of it. Shift down a bit sooner and just get slower this way. This translates into a better tire condition and even less fuel consumption. With the newfound extra speed, overtaking other F1 drivers is even easier. But you aren't limited to just the things everyday cars offer you. You are still driving a modern Formula 1 car, and be careful with that. While trying to overtake, you have to aptly name the overtake button, which triggers the ERS. Pressing it will boost your acceleration and top speed, just like nitrous. This drains your battery, so you should always know how much you have still left and how much you would need to overtake. But you don't solely have to use it to overtake someone. Defending your position is also a great use. Together with DRS, you also have the DRS for extra speed, to make it even easier for you to overtake. DRS zones are a great opportunity to overtake, but it's not only the DRS you should use here. Before each race, have a look at where the DRS zones can be found. Save your resources like fuel and ERS in other sections of the track. Then, when you're close enough behind your opponent, use it all in the DRS zone and shoot past them. This doesn't even have any real downsides. Yes, your car oversteers more, but if you drive gently, you won't even notice while zooming past the competition. Going fast is great and all. Just going fast won't win you races though. You probably just overshoot every single corner. Every beginner probably starts braking with ABS on. But did you ever see a big name or a big drive with ABS? No, because they don't use it and neither should you. In the beginning, you must get used to not steer and brake at the same time. While braking, your F1 racer should only look straight ahead. You even must learn how to brake again. Without ABS, there are 2 possibilities for you. Pump braking, first of them, which means you press the brake, release it, press it again, and so on until you reach your desired speed. Another technique is trail braking. You fully push the brake while arriving at a corner. The more you come closer to the apex, the more you release the brake. Do not release the brakes too early though, or you will fly out of the corner. Do not do it too late or you will lock up your wheels. Lastly, the setup of your car may be one of the most important things in this game. Downloading setups from other players can be a great start and immediately improves your lap times for sure. However, you can further improve it by tweaking the setup to your personal needs and your own liking. If you want to know how to set up your car and how the settings affect your race, have a look at our F1 2020 setup tutorial. And that's it already for your beginner tips on F1 2020. If you follow these, you will make it into podium in no time.